DOULUO DALU Chapter 24, 3-5 Combinations Establishment. Part 1. Suo Tuo Great Spirit Arena was entirely oval, its height reaching 120 meters, the interior divided into 1 Lord Spirit Arena and 24 Spirit Arenas, able to simultaneously hold 6,000 spectators. Among these were 100 VIP boxes. This was not only an area for Spirit Masters to exchange pointers, but also a place for powers to display their own strengths. While walking towards Suo Tuo Great Spirit Arena, Flender told Tang San's party about some remaining simple circumstances of the Spirit Arena. Here, fight spirits were divided into 3 categories. One kind was contests, which was mutually exchanging pointers, where fierce killing techniques were forbidden. Another kind was life or death fights, used for settling disputes that could not be mediated. The last kind were betting fights. With the Great Spirit Arena as referee, in betting fights both sides sent out equal numbers of Spirit Masters to compete. The ultimate victor received the balance of the bet. Betting fights in the first place were life or death fights. Many frequently when irreconcilable conflicts appeared between nobles or schools, they would use this kind of way. But the match's appearance also had 3 kinds, 1 against 1, 2 against 2 and group fights. Among them, in team fights the number of people on both sides followed regulations, according to the Great Spirit Arena's customs, ordinarily restricted within 7 to 10 people. Entering the Great Spirit Arena, the first thing reflected in one's eyes was a huge stele, on it was carved densely packed names. Flender told them that these names were all those who had died in spirit fights. Fighting spirit registration was carried out here extremely simply. The only requirement was to fill out a form including name and surname, age, birthplace, and spirit, and one could receive the first Iron Spirit Fight badge. Of course, registering required everyone to pay 10 gold coins as registration fee. Simultaneously, they also carried out a spirit test similar to Spirit Hall, making certain of each person's rank. Daimyo told everyone, every time before participating in fighting spirit, everyone must first carry out spirit power test to determine the match opponent. Flender naturally would not excuse them. Tang San, Xiaowu and Zhu Zuqing each completed their registration. Giving Tang San a profound impression was, when they registered, the staff member responsible for registration did not at all ridicule them or display any surprised expression because of their young age, all along having an appearance of doing official business according to official principles. And the handling speed was also extremely fast. From these simple details he could see that this Great Spirit Arena was absolutely not an ordinary place. After registration, about to undergo spirit fight sorting, Flender brought them to the contest type spirit fight area, and after simply instructing Daimyo with several sentences, he went inside the spirit arena without consulting anyone. Daimyo told Tang San and the others that at Great Spirit Arena, only under circumstances with successive victories exceeding 5 fights, the fighting spirit badge reaching a certain rank, or extremely high spirit master level, could one compete in the Lord Spirit Arena. Novices like them could only fight at the spirit arenas. Winning 1 Iron Spirit fight one could obtain 10 gold coins as award money, while losing had no award money. Very quickly, the 5 people already finished sorting, because they had come together. They would all fight at the contest area of Spirit Arena 14. Only Daimyo's opponent was Spirit Elder rank. Tang San's 4's opponents were all Spirit Grandmaster level, that's all. The entire Great Spirit Arena gave Tang San a kind of dazzling feeling. Here, the various kinds of space allocation was extremely detailed. Speaking of the 24 arenas, each Spirit Arena was also subdivided into different areas, comprised of the 2 types contest area and life or death area. Each type was further subdivided into 3 kinds of styles, 1 against 1, 2 against 2 and group battle. Therefore, one spirit arena had 6 separate elevated rings. As for betting fights, according to what Daimyo said, regardless of what rank, all betting fights were conducted at the Lord Spirit Arena. The Great Spirit Arena's operation mode had long ago already reached an unusually coordinated degree, For different spirit fight areas the ticket prices were also different, like the 1-against-1 contest area where Tang San's group would participate, the ticket price was least expensive, and the spectators also were the fewest. Spirit masters participating in spirit fights were gathered in an arranged expansive hall to rest, waiting for their turn. In the rest area, Tang San's group's arrival immediately aroused the other spirit masters' attention. After all, their age truly was too young. But, although these spirit masters revealed astonished expressions, there was nobody who made fun of them, each person meditating, as far as possible letting them maintain peak condition, waiting for the fighting spirits to begin. Xiao Wu sat next to Tang San, in a low voice saying, "Gee, I just now asked Dai Mubai, although every spirit master only can participate in one contest per day, they can simultaneously participate in different categories. We both are 29th ranked, at this level, it should not be difficult to win, so it would be better for us to also join the 2-against-2 spirit fights, also good way to early get a few more of the required points, how about it?" Tang San smiled slightly, saying, "No problem, in any case we have come to improve our combat experience, more fighting experience is always good." Immediately, he himself and Xiao Wu's thoughts were informed to Dai Mubai. Dai Mubai naturally would not oppose, but as he was reminded by them, his gaze fell on Zhu Zuqing. Unfortunately, their spirits were not the same stage, so it was impossible to form a team for 2-against-2 spirit fights, so he could only give it up. Dai Mubai said, "Little San, you bring Xiao Wu to register on the 2-against-2 side, this side's battles should still be a moment." Tang San nodded. Before coming in, he had already seen the 2-against-2 sign-up area. Immediately, he brought Xiao Wu in for the time being, leaving the 1-against-1 spirit fight area, proceeding to the 2-against-2 spirit fight area sign-up. Part 2. Sign-up fee is 10 gold coins, winning one fight altogether nets you 10 gold coins. The staff member efficiently collected the Tang San pair's expenses. Because they had already registered for their rank, they only needed to show their Iron Fighting Spirit badges without needing to fill out another form. "Please submit your combination name." Combination name? Tang San and Xiao Wu met each other's eyes. Only now did they learn that in 2-against-2 and group battles, everyone must submit their combination name to help the Spirit Arena presenter announce them. Tang San considered, then said, "We're called Sanwu Combination 1. He separately chose his and Xiao Wu's name, anyway this importance was not something that held great importance. Good, 3-5 Combination 2 is now registered. On Tang San and Xiao Wu's badges another 3 words were carved, on it was carved the 3 words EO 3-5 combination. Only, EO was carved as EO 5. Hey, this word is wrong, it's Wu, not 5. Xiao Wu resentfully said. The staff member said cold as ice. Who asked you to not speak clearly? If you want to alter the combination name, you must re-register for Iron Spirit Fight badges to be able to change it. At the same time, any already obtained accomplishments will be completely erased. While Xiao Wu was getting ready to erupt, Dai Mubai's voice was suddenly heard. Xiao Wu, your 1-against-1 spirit fight is beginning. Hurry over. Tang San clapped Xiao Wu's shoulder, saying. Let it be, 3-5 combination is just 3-5 combination, in the end it's only a name, nothing more. Xiao Wu pulled a face at that staff member, then ran towards the 1-against-1 spirit fight area. The 1-on-1 spirit fight area was drawn up according to lots drawn in advance. While other spirit masters were in the middle of spirit fights, the waiting spirit masters could opt to watch the battle or opt to rest. Each area in the spirit arena had special places for competing spirit masters to watch the battle. The distance to the fighting spirits platform was very close. Xiao Wu was the first of the 5 people to go on stage, and Tang San and the others naturally chose to watch the battle. Led by a staff member, they reached the spectating area below the platform. Next to the fighting platform was a special area where you were just able to get a full view of the platform. Even though it was a spirit arena platform, the area still wasn't small, its diameter reaching 20 meters, possessing sufficient area to let spirit masters display their strength. Unfortunately, at this spirit arena 14 1-against-1 spirit fight ring, the quantity of audience was not much, approximately only seating 1/5 or so. On the spirit fight stage, in the middle stood a middle-aged person wearing a swallow-tailed coat. In a distinct voice, he said clearly, "Next, carrying out our Spirit Arena 14's first 1-against-1 spirit fight, appearing, are 2 spirit grandmasters. They are respectively, with Beast Spirit Jade Rabbit 3 Battle Spirit Grandmaster Xiao Wu, facing off against the with already 2 successive wins Beast Spirit Iron Horned Bull Battle Spirit Grandmaster Qing Bao 4. Will Qing Bao after all be able to continue to his glorious 3rd successive win, or will the newcomer Battle Spirit Grandmaster Xiao Wu grasp victory? Let us wipe our eyes and wait." Next, we invite the 2 spirit grandmasters on stage. The spectators in the stands made very few shouts, occasionally several people shouted Qing Bao's name. The majority did not appear not particularly interested. A person with tall and robust stature very quickly arrived on the stage. This person's height was an astonishing 2 meters or so, broad shoulders and wide back, whole body covered by a layer of granite-like muscle, tan skin stretched tightly over tendons that covered his bare upper body like blue-green little snakes. Eyes glittering ominously like a copper bell. At the same time as taking the stage, he looked upward and issued an ear-splitting roar, releasing a valiant vigor. One need not even ask, this was a physical strength type battle spirit master, the same category as motionless bright King Zhao Wuji. Ma Hongjun sat next to Tang San, in a low voice saying, "This big fellow looks strong for sure, will your Xiao Wu be alright?" Tang San smiled calmly, saying, "You wait and see." Xiao Wu's spirit ability comparatively fears physical strength type spirit masters, but that is only in circumstances where the other side's physical strength far outclasses hers. At equal levels, physical strength type battle spirit masters facing her, will only be. He did not finish his last line, a face childishly excited Xiao Wu already finally hopped onto the stage. White tight clothes, pink trousers, figure clearly still not particularly developed, a beautiful little face brimming with childishness, immediately attracted the attention of many spectators. "How old is this little miss? What did the announcer say? Said she was a spirit grandmaster? That's impossible." Similar doubting voices were continuously heard in the stands. The spectators always sympathized with the weaker side, and adding to Xiao Wu's outward appearance being much better than the opposing side's iron-horned bull spirit master, immediately received the favor of the majority of those watching the battle. Qing Bao on seeing Xiao Wu was stunned a moment, speaking in a low and muffled voice. "Little miss, haven't you come to the wrong place? This is not where you should be, immediately go back home." Xiao Wu wore a slight smile, although she was only 12 years old, that small face of hers revealing a slight smile harmless to humans and animals was very destructive, especially when speaking of Qing Bao's kind of physical strength type simple-minded fellow. It was even easier to arouse his protective instincts. "Little sister, step down. It would be no good if by chance you met with injury, you consider, you're so frail." Qing Bao was somewhat awkward, simple-mindedly asking Xiao Wu to concede. Xiao Wu's refined eyebrows wrinkled minutely, slim waist twisting. "Why are you speaking so much nonsense? Hurry up and use your spirit. Don't blame me for not warning you." Seeing Qing Bao still wanted to say something, Xiao Wu, whose character could never be considered gentle, couldn't help it, with a big stride forward, leapt up in Qing Bao's direction. Xiao Wu's speed was very quick, in the blink of an eye moving more than 10 meters, long legs softly leaping, sending her body off the floor, one leg kicking towards Qing Bao's neck. Defense was one of physical strength type spirit master's most formidable capabilities. Seeing Xiao Wu light as a feather kicking towards him, the straightforward Qing Bao did not dodge at all, with his speed basically not open to dodging, in his heart thinking, "This little miss is not sensible, so young yet running to participate in spirit fights, let her hit a few times, wait until she's tired, and she'll naturally go down at once. Part 3. However, Qing Bao only had time to form this idea in his heart, the next moment this spirit fight already ended. The strength of Xiao Wu's kick at Qing Bao's thick and solid neck was more gentle than Qing Bao had imagined. After this kick of hers, the tips of her feet did not bounce away, instead sticking to Qing Bao's neck, and at the same time her other leg also rose, stepping on Qing Bao's substantial chest. Pink light quickly bubbled out, 2 bright full moon yellow rings of light appeared on Xiao Wu's body. This moment, the spirit rings she used was proof to the spectators of her spirit grandmaster rank. Among spirit masters in the stands, as Tang San saw Xiao Wu's right foot accurately stick to Qing Bao's neck, the corners of his mouth showed a slight smile, lightly saying the word goodbye. Xiao Wu's first spirit ring ability, Waist Bao, activated. Qing Bao only felt an energy simultaneously reach him from his chest and neck, his entire body following Xiao Wu's flip, already like a soaring cloud thrown into the air. Immediately following, after Xiao Wu touched the ground, she took a one-step run up, leaping up to meet Qing Bao's falling body in the air, both legs accurately grabbing his waist, her slender waist twisting, body rotating once in midair, a return drop making Qing Bao's body fall obliquely, shooting under the protective rope on the side of the ring, falling directly below the platform, producing a muffled peng sound. The entire spirit arena 14s1 against 1 spirit fighting ring's surroundings became quiet, not only the spectators, even that previous announcer already had his mouth wide open. Who could have expected that this spirit fight would have ended so quickly, and the winning side unexpectedly was that little miss looking only 10-something years old. The entire process was not only quick, but also Xiao Wu's figure using the waist bow on her enormous opponent looked so graceful. The reckless bull like Qing Bao did not even have time to use his spirit before the spirit fight already ended. Because of Qing Bao's politeness, Xiao Wu's attack on him had not used all her spirit power, adding that his own defensive power wasn't bad. Currently he already crawled up from on the ground shaking and swaying. Little sister, you truly are ferocious. I have lost. Qing Bao was a guileless person, but not at all foolish. In the split second Xiao Wu used strength, he already felt that Xiao Wu's spirit power was far superior to his. Qing Bao's own spirit power was 25th rank. Under this gap in spirit power, adding to this little miss skill also being so strange, he knew that even if he used his full power, it would still be impossible to win. Xiao Wu snappily said. What yo a little sister, call me Xiao Wu Ji. Don't you know who is more capable? Xiao Wu Ji. Qing Bao very honestly called her, leaving with face blushing. Among the spirit masters watching the stage, Tang San hearing Xiao Wu's words couldn't help smiling. This girl, the enthusiastic big sister leader also came out. Hong a euro. At this moment cheering abruptly resounded. A beautiful little miss who was also so ferocious immediately attracted the eyes of all people. For a moment there was thunderous applause. Xiao Wu smiled and giggling waved her hand towards the stands. By now the announcer also reacted, with quick steps reaching the spirit fighting stage, in a loud voice declaring. Battle Spirit Grandmaster Xiao Wu's victory, fight record, 1 victory 0 losses. Qing Bao's fight record is 21 wins and 14 losses. Grandmaster Xiao Wu, after leaving the stage please go register accumulated points. The competition pace was carried out very quickly, perhaps it was because of the brief brilliance in Xiao Wu's display in the fight with Qing Bao, the spectators in the stand by now also had become interested. But what Tang San's waiting group didn't expect was, the second spirit fight's spirit masters unexpectedly were a Shrek Academy internal battle. The 2 sides up to fight were respectively Tang San and Zhu Zuqing. Zhu Zuqing only gave Tang San a glance and went to the spirit fight passage. When Tang San just prepared to catch up, Dai Mubai grabbed his shoulder. Dai Mubai's face revealed some awkwardness, in a low voice saying, Little brother, start off a bit easy. Tang San smiled slightly, nodding once to him, then ascended the stage by the spirit fight passage. Again 2 students were facing off, and also competing in this was a beautiful lady who in appearance was not inferior to Xiao Wu. Before the spirit fight had even started, the spectators already burst into cheers. The announcer simply introduced both sides' names and spirits, indicating to the pair that the spirit fight could begin. Please. Tang San politely made a courteous gesture to Zhu Zuqing. Zhu Zuqing coldly said, "Please go all out, let me see my gap with you." She was present at the fight between Tang San and Zhao Wuji, and naturally understood it was impossible for her to match Tang San. But what she even more wanted to know was, as spirit grandmasters alike, how big the gap between her and Tang San actually was. Different from the previous fight, as this spirit fight was about to start, the battle's 2 sides both released their spirits. Zhu Zuqing's pair of eyes changed simultaneously, left eye dark green, right eye clear blue, a pair of cute cat ears stood up slightly, both hands 10 fingers lightly flicking, spike-like claws sprang from the tips. Body crouching forward, coldly staring at Tang San like he was her prey. 2 yellow spirit rings at the same time appeared on her body, an ice-cold and piercing atmosphere giving people a somewhat suffocating feeling. Equally colored spirit rings also appeared on Tang San's body, blue and black long vines extended along the ground, moving rhythmically like blue and black giant snakes, covering more than 10 meters in diameter around Tang San's body, seemingly occupying half the spirit fighting platform's area. Tang San looked at Zhu Zuqing with a calm expression. He was not a bit hurried, even though the 2 sides' competition had not even started. Tang San knew he had already obtained victory. As a control system battle spirit master, he in himself would restrain Zhu Zuqing's agility attack system, especially in the ring where Zhu Zuqing's quickness was unable to fully be displayed. This fight held no suspense from the beginning. Watching the blue-silver grass spreading in her direction, Zhu Zuqing knew she could not keep waiting. Body suddenly shooting up, even leaving a series of phantoms, pouncing at Tang San from the front. Part 4. Right now, the entire audience clearly saw, as Zhu Zuqing rushed within the range of the blue-silver grass, in all directions the blue-silver grass simultaneously stood up, just like an enormous cage, enveloping Tang San and Zhu Zuqing within. Zhu Zuqing's first spirit ring shone up practically at the same time as Tang San's. Hell Rush Stab 5 activated, in midair. Zhu Zuqing's sharp claw suddenly extended, her body quickly became indistinct, speed doubling in a flash, obliquely leaping in Tang San's direction. Seeing her approach, Tang San only did one simple movement. Stepping aside. Currently, his eyes were already covered with a purple layer, perhaps to other people's eyes Zhu Zuqing's silhouette was very difficult to distinguish, but he who had continuously trained in hidden weapons, relying on purple demon eye, how would he not be able to see clearly? While using Ghost Shadow Perplexing Track to escape danger, bringing Tang San's body away from Zhu Zuqing's attack range, the sharp claws pierced the air, practically sticking to Tang San's body as she streaked past. In the next moment, Zhu Zuqing had no chance to launch her second spirit ring ability. The blue-silver grass already waiting for her took advantage of her neutralized attack to crowd around her in an instant. Blue-silver grass first spirit ring ability, Binding, activated. Numerous blue-silver grass bundled robustly around Zhu Zuqing's body. They were after all on the same side, so Tang San did not activate blue-silver grass venomous thorns and only tied down Zhu Zuqing, that's all. But the first spirit ring's supplementary paralysis was still reducing Zhu Zuqing's spirit power fluctuations. Their battle also ended within this brief moment of time. Control system restrains agility attack system. Your attack was insufficient to cut open my spirit's control capabilities. Tang San with a mild expression released blue-silver grass. Zhu Zuqing was still that cold, but Tang San knew she herself also understood, only she didn't expect Tang San would win this easily. Right now she already was completely clear about the reason Tang San was able to tangle with Zhao Wuji for so long, was certainly not only because of the exquisite hidden weapons. His grasp of timing in battle was equally valiant, facing him she basically didn't have the slightest chance. I lose. Leaving behind those two simple words, she immediately turned and stepped off the stage, just as quickly as she came. Of course, this was not at all to say Tang San necessarily was stronger than Zhu Zuqing. Agility attack system spirit masters should hide in darkness. Attacking, assassinating and scouting, these were their strongest skills. This kind of frontal ring fight, to agility attack system spirit masters, in itself was not fair. If this was in a complex terrain, for Tang San to prevail over Zhu Zuqing absolutely would not be this easy. When Tang San walked out the Spirit Master passage, Xiao Wu was waiting for him there, and after simply registering accumulated points, the two did not again return to the Spirit Master stands. They still had the 2 against 2 spirit fight to go through. The drawing of lots was already finished. After Tang San had asked, he and Xiao Wu still had 2 matches before their battles, so the two also did not go look at the battles. After all, although the preceding fights were quick, they still consumed some amount of spirit power, and they simply rested at the preparation area. The 2 against 2 spirit fights were apparently much longer than 1 against 1, and when it was their turn to go up, the 2 spirit power had already recovered to optimum condition. Following the Spirit Master's passage to reach the spirit fighting ring, Tang San first simply observed his surroundings once. On this 2 against 2 side the audience filled at least half the seats. The popularity was a bit better than the 1 against 1 side. Their opponents already waited for them on the spirit fighting platform. The 2 against 2 spirit fights ring compared to 1 against 1 was twice as big. After all, the number of spirit masters was twice as many, so they also required an even larger space. Currently, the ring's announcer was declaring the spirit master combinations. 2 against 2 fifth match. Iron Blood 6 combination facing off against 3-5 combination. Just on the platform, Xiao Wu could not help but mumble to herself. How is it again physical strength type battle spirit masters, there's not a bit of novelty. Tang San and Xiao Wu's opponents were 2 18 or 19 years old youths, both were fierce and majestic, appearance extremely alike, statures robust to a degree no less than that previous iron-horned bull spirit master. Although they were not bare-chested, their uncovered thick and solid arms still could reveal their physical strength. As the Iron Blood combination unexpectedly saw 2 children on stage, both somewhat disbelieving rubbed their eyes. The announcer was also stunned a moment, but the spirit fight still must continue, and able to stand here they clearly possessed the corresponding spirit rank. Apparently, our 3-5 combination still truly are promising youths. Competition start. The Iron Blood brother pair's astonishment only appeared on their faces for a very brief time. They very quickly recovered to normal, not advancing but retreating, simultaneously steadily taking a step backwards. Even more simultaneously produced a low roar, the 2 people moving as neatly as one. Intense grey light rushed out from their hands, identical weapons simultaneously appeared in their grasps. Seeing these weapons, Tang San could not help but be distracted a moment. The weapons appearing in the Iron Blood combination's hands he indeed knew too well, like what he frequently used as a blacksmith, forging hammers. Of course, the ones in the Iron Blood brother's hands were somewhat different from the forging hammer he ordinarily used. Not only was the bulk even bigger, but the forging hammer also had some detailed pattern. Each had 2 yellow 100-year spirit beast rings of light moving rhythmically over him. Tool Spirit Battle Spirit Masters. Although they similarly were physical strength type battle spirit masters, Tang San and Xiao Wu immediately decided that facing these 2 opponents were entirely different from Xiao Wu's previous 1 against 1 spirit fight opponent. Most importantly, the combat experience of these 2 before them clearly was extremely rich, not at all relaxing their guard just because they were young. The left man said, "I'm Tai Long 7. The right man said, "I'm Tai Hu 8. They shouted loudly in unison. Take care. Part 5. Although Tool spirits would not alter the spirit master's appearance, the 2 majestically large men simultaneously roared loudly, still brimming with valiant pressure. They took practically identical steps, like the sound of thunder dashing in Tang San and Xiao Wu's direction. The iron hammers in their hands already raised high. Xiao Wu's toes lightly pointed to the ground, body light as a feather soaring up, Tang San's right arm supporting her toes, Xiao Wu's one foot stepping on Tang San's right shoulder, taking a golden rooster stance on one leg 9 posture. The two had been together for many years, and cooperated through mutual understanding. While ascending Tang San's shoulder, Xiao Wu already completed her rabbit spirit body enhancement, sharp gaze staring fixedly at the two rapidly approaching opponents. Once the other party showed a weak point, then, she would in a moment pounce down from up high to launch her soft skill. Blue and black blue-silver grass rushed out, changing into countless vines meeting the iron blood combination brother pairs on rush. Under circumstances where rank was not much different, when blue-silver grass tangled them the other side basically would not have a chance to struggle free. This was a control system spirit's domain. The Tai family brothers were not a bit hurried. Seeing several tens of blue-silver grass come head-on, the two immediately swung the iron hammers in their hands. The immense hammers were as light in their hands as if empty. Unexpectedly their swings became a defensive screen. Tang San by observing them discovered that the Tai brothers' hammer method unexpectedly was somewhat similar to his disorder-splitting wind hammer method, merely the rhythm didn't have the harmony of the disorder-splitting wind hammer method. The generated force also was not equally fierce as that of disorder-splitting wind hammer method, but their speed was even faster than his disorder-splitting wind hammer method 10. Tai Long and Tai Hu's first spirit rings simultaneously shone, and as blue-silver grass entered the range of their hammers, when wanting to break through and launch the binding ability, it was immediately swept away by their hammers. Besides the hammer's own force, they still had a kind of unusual shaking power that stirred up the blue-silver grass. Shaking was the Tai family brothers' first spirit ring ability, in effect blocking the blue-silver grass control. The two people, one left and one right, swinging their iron hammers and tightly defending their bodies within, simultaneously quickly pressed forward, and would soon reach before Tang San and Xiao Wu. Rise! Tang San shouted loudly, shaking his shoulder, already sending Xiao Wu's body into the air, leaping towards the Tai family brothers' backs. Eyes taking on a purple luster, both his hands simultaneously lifted. Internal strength pouring into both hands, white jade-like palms practically simultaneously swatting at the Tai brothers, Tang San's own feet swiftly sliding forward like wiping grease, both hands circling, not at all colliding forcefully with those two iron hammers, rather pulling from the side, light as a feather pushing at the iron hammer's sides, lightly sending them in between, making a small crack appear in the Tai brothers' unity. Tang San also took advantage of this moment's opportunity to swiftly bore through this small crack. The iron hammers whistled, brushing the front of Tang San's jacket with a fluttering sound, but without striking him. Controlling crane catching dragon's use for controlling hidden weapons was admittedly outstanding, but used as an internal strength kind of method its effect was equally maximized. What Tang San used just now was exactly the Foral Yang deflecting 1000 Jin 11 secret. As a result of controlling crane catching dragon leading down and pouncing forward, the Tai family brothers' concentrated defense immediately showed a small hole. Tang San's blue-silver grass did not stay idle and took advantage of this opportunity to dash in. But the Tai family brothers proved themselves to have ample fighting experience, turning at lightning speed. Once again blue-silver grass was swept away. Tool spirits, to earn the one-word Eoetal, it was unable to improve the capabilities of the host itself, but in its additional capabilities were extremely powerful. The effect of the first spirit ring on the iron hammers shaking even did not need the iron hammers to come directly in contact with blue-silver grass. If the blue-silver grass only one chi intruded within their range, it would immediately be swept away, unable to accomplish the binding effect. As Tang San bored between the two's unity, was also just the moment when Xiao Wu dropped from the air, once again standing on Tang San's shoulder, movements exactly the same as before. Little San, finish them. Xiao Wu giggled. She had fought more with Tang San's blue-silver grass than anyone, and naturally knew Tang San's spirit's secrets. When Xiao Wu started to talk, on Tang San's body the second spirit ring abruptly flared. The hammer-waving Tai family brothers' bodies simultaneously went rigid, a blue and black vine beginning to grow on their bodies. Precisely blue-silver grass second ability, Parasite. Unmistakably, their hammer method indeed protected them very tightly, but still not to the extent that dust could not enter. The blue-silver grass spirit under Tang San's control continuously scattered seeds in the air, especially when Tang San previously used controlling crane catching dragon to make the Tai family brothers momentarily expose a hole in their defense. Even more were quietly entering inside. Although the parasite blue-silver grass seeds on their bodies were not at all very many, as long as it restricted them for a short time, the blue-silver grass outside would naturally also be able to succeed with the binding ability. Feeling the parasite blue-silver grass bring paralysis and seeing the numerous blue-silver grass around pounce at them, the Tai brothers met each other's eyes, once again roaring loudly. Taking advantage of the parasite blue-silver grass not yet having completely restricted their movements, whirling their hammers with both hands, rapidly swinging one turn, their second spirit rings simultaneously shining, they unexpectedly threw out the two enormous iron hammers, respectively smashing at Tang San and Xiao Wu. The iron hammers made ear-splitting piercing sounds in the air, even the air unexpectedly distorted slightly. Under a grey light cover, the two iron hammers' bulk suddenly doubled, even without getting close one was already able to feel the additional frightful attack power within them. The Tai brothers' second spirit ring ability, all in one throw 12. Tang San in his heart secretly said not good. Firstly sending Xiao Wu into the air, himself also using Ghost Shadow perplexing track to get out of the way to the side at lightning speed. 1 San Wuzu, AAA Euro degree AEA 3/4 AAA Euro A with tilde yen AE. 2 San Wuzu, AAA Euro degree AA degree A Euro AAA Euro A with tilde yen AE, they are homophones. 3, AA 1/2 A Euro degree A yen A Euro A.K. of the Moon Rabbit. 4. A yen A degree A Euro A yen A registered trademark, celebrate treasure. 5. A yen A superscript 1A 1/2 A yen A Euro A yen A yen A degree, or Hell Thrust or Hell Rush Pierce or Hell Rush Assassinate or several other possibilities. 6. Tai Shui, A copyright A Euro OEA. 7. A copyright A Euro OEA A copyright A 3/4 A cent, Iron Dragon. 8. A copyright A Euro OEA A cent A 1/2, Iron Tiger. 9. Tai Chi stance, image. 10. Did I mention it was the disorder-splitting wind hammer method? 11. A yen A Euro degree A Euro superscript 1 A yen A. A Euro a common saying in Chinese martial arts about using a small force to lead a large force. 12. A yen A superscript 3 A 1/2 A. A less literal translation might be to bet everything on one toss of the dice. It's an idiom with the same meaning as putting all one's eggs in the same basket. But that doesn't seem like a good technique name.